Hello YouTube, this is Sig Maluko coming at you again. As promised, I'm delivering the SIG versus the Bersa, the detailed review. Let's get into it. Overall, SIG versus the Bersa. Like the Bersa, it's small, accurate gun. Love the SIG. This is a $300 gun, this is a $500-600 gun, and we're going to get into why this one is worth more. First off, performance. We got onto that a little bit. The Bersa, nice shot groups, but slow. 6.6 seconds for 4 shots, versus the SIG, where you were getting 4 shots in 5 seconds and even 3 shots in 3 seconds. So personally, I'd rather have the fastest gun. Let's get into why this Bersa is slow. We're going to do a little bit more detailed on it, but you have a safety mechanism here, and first off, it's in the wrong direction. I hate safeties that go up instead of the natural down sweep like a 1911 style. Second, you need to have the safety on. If you notice, there's a slight movement in the hammer when you take that off the safe, and it's because it's actually rotating a mechanism that prevents the hammer from resting on the firing pin. So if it's off safe, this gun, the hammer will be resting on the firing pin. So you should never carry this gun hot with it off a safe, because if you drop it, that hammer is going to hit that firing pin and go off. Let's talk about ergonomics, dimensions. Bersa, 5 ounces heavier than SIG, 17 versus 23. You also, the dimensions. This gun is slightly smaller in the length, width, and height of the gun, and it also, the ergonomics, it just feels better and points a lot better than the Bersa. As it's coming out of a pocket, it has a lot more little knobs and things to hang up on a pocket as you come out of it. Let's talk about trigger play. SIG, there is no, just minute trigger play. It's a heavy hammer, but it is a very smooth and well thought out and well engineered trigger. Bersa, hold on a second. A lot of trigger play before the hammer starts moving. One more thing though about the SIG, because it's a smaller gun, I've known some people that as the slide comes back, it tends to catch him right there in the webbing, so it has a tendency of slide bites. So you'll want to shoot this gun before you try it, before you buy it. That's it on the overall external review. We'll get into the internal mechanics, and I'll show you some of the internal stuff that I really like about the SIG versus the Bersa. Alright, 2 things on the internal. First, the extractor. If you notice the extractor on the Bersa, which is the top versus the SIG, the extractor is quite a bit smaller and not as deep, so it will not grab that round as well as the extractor on the SIG. And if you notice overall, the Bersa, the small parts, which are harder and more expensive to manufacture, they cut corners on their manufacturing processes with the Bersa versus the SIG, where they actually engineered this a lot beefier and with a lot higher tolerances. So that's it on the extractor pin, and I'll get into something else here in a second. Alright, let's talk about the feed ramp here. This is the Bersa right here versus the SIG, and the feed ramp on the Bersa, you'll notice, is actually slightly cockeyed in its angle of approach to the chamber. And you'll notice, you put that in there and get that bullet out, there's actually a dent right there, and it's offset. First, the fact that there's a dent there shows that the construction grade of the material is softer than brass, which shouldn't be the case in any gun. And second, the dent is offset, so you're going to have a higher chance of malfunction with it going in at a bad angle. Versus the SIG, you'll see that there is some brass rubbing right there, but if I scrub that off, that brass would come off. And the feed ramp is wider, so it'll cradle the bullet better as it comes in, and loads up into the chamber. Alright, one more thing I forgot to mention. The SIG gets a lot of flack for the magazine release being the European style on the bottom. Let me tell you why I actually like that. Is because on the Bersa, you have a typical magazine release right here. But even with how stiff it is, in a deep concealed carry position like on the waistband, that magazine release is right where the pressure point is, and it's actually exasperated a little bit if you are a left-handed carry and carry it on this side where the actual pressure, the belt will actually press right on that magazine release. And in a worst case scenario, I actually did this at home. I unloaded it and rolled on the ground a little bit and wrestled a little bit, and I actually got that magazine to release on accident. And with this gun, if that happens, your gun is inoperable with the magazine out. So I actually like the magazine release there. Another thing that's nice about it is that it clears up any protruding buttons or any accidental things. So it is a very simple, very ergonomic design that's kind of cleared the way for you to just focus on and have available to you anything that you need to keep this gun going. So there you have it, final review. SIG versus the Bersa. Bersa, I don't mean to pick on it because it's a very good option if you're on a tight budget, but it doesn't compare to the manufacturing quality and the reliability that the SIG has. And thanks for watching. Sig Maluco. See you around.